just want to go back and check the spelling on a couple of the nouns that you've come up with. What's the problem? Well, they just don't seem to tally with the way that they're pronounced. Like what? Well, tomb sounds like room. That's right. And comb sounds like robe. Yeah. What's your point exactly? Well, they both end O-M-B. Yes, T-O-M-B, tomb, and C-O-M-B, comb. And then, of course, there's bomb. There's a bomb? So if I ask you to record something, it becomes a record. Yeah, it's just like if a shop needs to refund you, they'll offer you a refund. Well, I guess they're connected, I suppose, being refunded and getting a refund. But where does that leave us with dessert and desert? I mean, look, it doesn't even make any sense. No, that's desert and dessert. And where does that leave us with incense? That's easy. One's a noun for something that produces a pleasant smell when it's burning, and the other is a verb meaning to make someone incredibly angry. Yeah, and I can't imagine what that's like. You've never smelled incense before. You okay? You seem a bit off. I had my vaccine, so I'm just a bit foggy. It's nothing I can't handle. We have got some work to get through, but only if you're sure. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we need a word for the thing that sticks out on an elephant. Its ears. No, the nose thing at the front. Oh, trunk? Nice. And the central part of a tree? Trunk? Right. And a large piece of luggage? Trunk? I can see where this is going. Should I bother with swim shorts? Trunks? You're adding an S. Right. And in American English, I want to use no. No. Go and lie down. We'll try again tomorrow. So that's blueberry, blackcurrant, and orange because it's orange. I'm really pleased with pineapple though. Well, yeah, considering all the other departments seem to have gone with the variation of ananas, I'll give you that. Actually, can I look at grape again? Oh, okay. When it's dried, call it a raisin. When it's dried. Or a sultana. Or a currant. Oh, hold on a second. And when a plum is dried, call it a prune. Wait, what? Well, what about all the other fruits, like apricot, mango? What are they called when they're dried out? Just put dried in front. We need to talk about truff. I'm not sure what you mean. The long, narrow thing that animals eat out of. Oh, you're talking about a trough. They sometimes drink from them too. It's pronounced trough, but it's rough with a T in the front. Truff. Or should rough be pronounced rough? Don't be ridiculous. And what's this word, trough with an H in it? Through. Through? Through? That's in the past tense of throw. No, that's through. That's what I said. No, this is through as in going in one side and out the other. She threw the basketball through the hoop. Surely that's going to be completely confusing, Boo. Hold that thought. You have excelled yourself this time, you really have. Thank you. That's not a good thing. How is there one letter difference between dough and cough? Because they're two different things? I know that, but why isn't it dough and co, or doff and cough? Feel free to change it if you think we ought to. Oh, don't get me started on ought. Why isn't it spelled with an A if it rhymes with taught? As in tight. As in teach. All right, but taught still rhymes with ought. Yes, exactly. Why? Why? Well, if ought was spelled ought, when we put dr in front, we'd get draft instead of drought. But how does that even work? Because when you put an N in front, you get naught and naught. Oh, that's nothing. Before we start, I just want to apologise for my frustration at the last meeting. I promised to keep it together today. Apology accepted. We need more past tenses for verbs, so I'm going to keep this functional rather than emotional. Okay, let's start with call. Called. And ball. Bald. As in bald. Never mind. Fall. Fell. Fold. Folded. Mould. Moulded. Hold. Held. Tell. Told. Sell. Sold. Yell. Yelled. It's fine. It's totally fine. These double O's are driving me cuckoo. How so? Well, let's start with book. If you change the K to a T, it becomes boot. So the sound changes. You've come across this before. Yes, I accept that, but boot with an S at the front isn't suit. No, it's soot. which is the same sound as book. Oh yeah. What's more, if you change the T to an N in such, you get soon. If you change the S to a B, you get boon, which looks remarkably like book, but sounds entirely different. Not if you're from Oop North. Boot, Luke, soon, boon, they all sound the same. That's an incredibly specific and very thin argument. It's very easy. There's just an sound like foot and an oo sound like food. What about floor? Tool. I need to talk to you about homophones. Tell me about it. I just can't understand why people wouldn't be supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. No, homophones, words that sound the same. Oh, right. You've come up with so many, it's really hard to tell the difference. Like what? Well, for a start, there's new as in the first time, and new as in the past tense of no. Oh yeah. Then there's not as in negative, not as in rope, night the opposite of day, and night the title. Just stick a K on the front. What? Just pick one and put a K on the front of it. Won't that make it canoe, cannot, and canite? No, use the K from knife, not the K from kitten. So you want to spell pneumatic with a P? Yeah, why not? Well, it's not pneumatic. I just want to spice things up a bit. Like you did with psychology and pterodactyl. A pterodactyl was a flying reptile. It deserves a spicy name. And what's your excuse for Psalm, psychic and psoriasis? Pop a P in there. Get the party started. And next up is this word for mucus. F-L-E-M. Oh, phlegm? Nah, make it P-H-L-E-G-M. Oh, well, I guess the word is as gross as the thing that it's naming. Exactly, look. Don't you dare. We're off to a flying start with chat change in church. Yeah, today's a good day, I can feel it. What do you want to call information in the form of a table or a graph? Chart. Nice, the board game for 2 players, kings, queens, pawns. Chess. Yes, a seat for 1 person. Chair. Perfect, a group of singers. Choir. What? Choir? But it's 1 letter away from chair. But it's connected to choral. Choral? Chair, choir and choral all begin with CH, so how can CH make 3 different sounds? Then there's champagne. It's French. How dare you? Guess what we've been asked to do today? Sorry, I didn't catch that. No, still not getting it. I said, you're going to have to speak up, I can't hear you. I said what? But I took the W from wriggle and the H in rhubarb, and I took the extra A in aardvark and the T in mortgage, so the whole word was silent. Firstly, that was really uncalled for, and secondly, none of those letters are silent. More words for you to decide. Oh, are you in one of your moods? Look, I'm sorry for swearing, okay, but we've got work to do. To make a sketch. To make a sketch. Draw. To move toward. Draw. To pull something. Draw. When a game ends in stalemate. Draw. A competition decided by pulling tickets or numbers. Draw. To make a comparison between things. Draw. To elicit no successful response. Draw a blank. To pull out a weapon. I hope you're in a better mood today because we need to come up with more words. All set? Great, let's get started with... No, what I mean is all of them are set. I don't understand. Whatever definitions you've got on your list, my answer is set. I'm pleased to hear you're ready. You still don't get it. To put something in a particular place. Set. When the sun passes below the horizon. Set. A collection designed to be used together. Set. A group of songs played by a band. Set. Apparatus for receiving television programs, 6 games in a tennis match, or to resolve or decide upon. I get it. We've got the word complete. What do you want for the opposite? Incomplete. Okay, and the opposite of significant? insignificant. Great, and what about valuable? Valueless. Valueless. Incomplete, insignificant, but not invaluable. No, that means it's of great value. Invaluable means that it's extremely valuable. Yes, practically indispensable. Indispensable, as in extremely dispensable. No, the exact opposite. Help. So you're telling me that flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? Yeah. Don't you think that's dangerous? Dangerous? Well, I've been wearing this highly inflammable top thinking I was protected, whereas in reality, one spark and I could have gone up like a human torch. Why? Why what? Why would you have two different words for the same thing? You're annoyed when I have one word with several meanings, and now you're annoyed with several words sharing one meaning. I can't win. So irregardless of the fact it's unnecessary and confusing, you're going to have two words for one very specific definition. You say unnecessary, I say fun. So yes, I'm going to carry on regardless. Irregardless. What? Irregardless. You've already chosen irregardless to mean without concern. Stick another one in for good measure. Okay, so OUR is our as in collective ownership, our house in the middle of our street. Correct. And then if we put an H in the front for a unit of time, it's still pronounced hour. Yes. Then why bother with the H? To allow people to tell the difference. It's never stopped you before, but I appreciate the consideration. So if you put a Y in the front, does that make it yower? Oh, it depends on where y'all live, mate. And adding a T makes it tower? Oh no, that's definitely tool. An F? For. FL? Flower. Like flower. So that people can tell the difference. So just to recap, we've got accelerate for speed up and decelerate for slow down. Yep. And ascend for go up and descend for come down. That's right. Activate, deactivate, construct, deconstruct, hydrate, dehydrate. Yeah, so they're the opposite of each other. Then explain press and depress. Well, they mean to press, to depress, to press. They mean the same thing. Why are you like this? It's absolutely shameless. Shameful. Let me get this straight. A caretaker and a caregiver are essentially the same thing. Well, generally, yes, but one's looking after a property and the other one is looking after a person. But why is one give and the other one take? Can't you just settle on one? Fat chance. Oh, so you'll consider changing it? No, I said fat chance. Doesn't that mean there's a large chance you'll change it? No, it means there's no chance. Well then, what's a slim chance? That also means there's no chance. And how are we supposed to remember that? Just add it to your list. I'll write it up. Write it down. You've done it again. Done what again? Talk to me about peak and peak. Which peak? Exactly. Why would you choose a word that sounds the same for two different things? Well, because they're two different things. Yes, but you didn't consider the keystrokes. Keystrokes? Keystrokes. When people are typing sneaky peek, as in sneak preview, makes sense. They're more likely to type sneaky peek, which makes no sense. Unless you're a stealthy mountain. And then, of course, there's peak. Peak? It's from the French verb for prick. And Matthew becomes Matt, David becomes Dave, and what about James? I don't think there's anything we can really shorten that to. Jim? Okay. And what about Edward? Eddie? Ted. But you've already got that for Theodore. Put it for Edward too. Right. What about William? Will? Bill. Is John on the list? No. I want to do one for John. You want to shorten John? What to? Jack. Jack? That's the same amount of letters. What about Richard? Dick. You don't think Rich or Rick, maybe? So Gillian, Jill, Rebecca is Becky or Becca. What about Elizabeth? Lizzie. And Sarah and Liz. Oh, more. Oh, and Eliza. I think that's it now. Lisbeth. Beth. All of these. Betty. Betsy. Bess. Wait, you can't. Ellie. Elsie. Elsa. Are you done? What about Sarah? Just go with Sally. So we've got Daniel, Danny or Dan, Anthony, Ant or Tony. What about Michael? Mike? Mick. Okay, and what about Alexander? Alexander. Oh, Alex and Xander. Xander. Wow. Oh, Sandy. You are outdoing yourself. Christopher. Christopher. Chris or Topher. I like it. What about Robert? Rob. Right. Or Bob. Ooh, Robbie. Nice. Bobby. Bobbert. Don't be ridiculous. Oh. Henry. Harry. Harry. And I'm the ridiculous one. So Constance becomes Connie. Prudence becomes Prue. What about Dorothy? Dot. Dotty. Dolly. Dolly. That's a bit of a stretch, but I can see the logic. What about Margaret? Maggie. Marge. Mags. Great. And what about Peggy? Peggy? Who's Peggy? I want Peggy for Margaret. Do you want Peggy for Margaret? But there isn't even a P in the name to begin with. Exactly. That's what makes it fun. So Constance, Connie, Prudence, Prue, Margaret, Peggy. Yeah. And I thought Dolly was a stretch. What's great about the nicknames you've come up with so far is that they're so efficient. Thank you. Like Beatrice becomes B, Penelope becomes Penny. They're great. Yeah, I'm really pleased with those. What have you got for Mary? Polly? Right. And Helen? Nellie. Ooh, and Anne? Nancy. Okay, these are starting to sound like completely different names. Francis? Fanny. Come on now. It's good to have the option, you know, a Francis in the streets and a Fanny between the sheets. That's not a thing. Yet more nicknames to decide. Can we do one for Nicholas? Oh, that one was decided ages ago before we were even given this assignment. It's Nick. Oh, I was going to suggest Nicky. Oh, is that why they're called nicknames? No, let's start with Laura. But surely it can't be a coincidence that Nick is a nickname. It is. Come on, Laura. Perhaps Nicholas was the first person to have a nickname and it just kind of evolved from there. Look, it's from the Old English word eke, meaning additional or added on, and over time, eke name became nickname. Still think there's got to be a connection. There's not. Now. Laura. Laura. Fine. Laura, Adam, Sheena and Brenda won't have a nickname. Don't you mean eke name? Are you still not speaking to me? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. Oh, good. Well, we've got some more nicknames to do, so let's start with Barry. Bazza. Gary. Gaza. Sharon. Shazza. I'm noticing a pattern. Jeremy. Jezza. Kerry. Keza. Leslie. Leza. No.